Hey, Drewz Viewz here, back for another reaction on Peaky Blinders, and I'm now up to the season finale of season 1, episode 6. So ready to get right into it. What happened last time? Well, it looked like it was ending on a pretty good note for the Shelby family. They even had like a cut, like almost like you're going to heaven, like a whiteout type of filter on at the end. Tommy was riding high. Looked like he had turned Grace over to his side, which it seems like he has. But the inspector is not going to be happy about that. He tried to propose to her last time, got rejected, and he's going to go after Tommy and potentially after her, I guess, if she crosses him. So I don't know. That he has plans, Tommy, to go after Billy Kimber, who wasn't in that last episode, but I assume we'll see something about that this time. He's going to try to take over. And meanwhile, his sister, though, is very mad at him, thinking that he's the one that dropped the dime on her husband, the communist, who's his old buddy, saved him in the war. Even though he didn't do it, it seems like she thinks that the aunt is trying to get them all to be together, kind of. Well, it's unclear if she believes Tommy either, but... And meanwhile, also, we met the dad last time, who's not a good guy. He's a scumbag. And poor Arthur, the oldest son, is, he's having a hard time. Tried to end it all. Couldn't even do that successfully. The rope broke, but Tommy was like, hey, you're a partner. Me and the other brother, who got married 2 episodes ago, to squash another beef. So, yeah, I expect to see something going on with Kimber this time. Tommy's going to put his plan in motion. I think some things are going to get in his way, though. Certainly the inspector is going to have his say, so... Anyway, let's get right on into it. There's the good inspector coming in to cause trouble, I would think. This is an old school toothbrush this guy's got going.
Let men come here for a certain purpose.
Is he really going there for that, or is this some scheme?
We're doing it today.
As usual, he gives no one any notice on anything, barely. With the red right hand. It's John with his newlywed wife.
I'll be there in a minute, mate.
Making some more siblings for you.
Suppose you keep the doors locked. Could have been anyone. We're doing it today.
As a matter of fact, he's doing me today.
Make sure he's done you by 9.
Should learn to knock.
But he does what he does for us.
Comes in right at the right time to hear that.
After today, there'll be no need for prayers.
I don't know about that, Tommy.
You're a special customer.
Let me call you Grace and speak with an Irish accent.
We can also clean and press your shirt while we do this.
Oh, it's a very efficient service.
You've never been to a place like this before.
It's never been depressed enough. New contact.
Oh, it is disgusting beyond all measure. Your father would be ashamed of you. My God, I'm sorry. Did I do that?
It's okay.
Guy's probably gonna tell Tommy.
You still don't know how we found them, do you? Good.
Oh.
He said, you and I are opposites, but also just the same. Before the day is over, your heart will be broken. Just the same as mine.
So if he's not gonna tell him, how is he gonna find out? Does he think Grace will just admit to it? So she let the aunt in the house at least.
Found her, spirit still, making a few drops of gin. They took my children from me. They never told me where they took them.
They'll kill me.
Teddy,
Is Tommy gonna get him
I'm
out?
gonna get as far as Brixton Prison.
Does she deserve some kind of commendation?
Yes. She was instrumental.
Peaky.
Blinders, sir.
So they'll go free?
Not quite, sir.
John is making great sacrifices in the cause of peace.
Yeah, right.
So it'll be us and the Lees against Kimber's boys.
Oh, does anyone object if I bring a newcomer to the meeting?
Is it Ada?
We named him Carl. After Karl Marx.
Oh, bloody Marks. Let me get a look at him.
Am I forgiven?
If what Aunt Polly says is true.
Like I've been saying, I think it's There's no way it's gonna go as easily as Tommy thinks here. Maybe, but that wouldn't be great drama or anything if it does. I feel like Kimber's right-hand man is pretty sharp, it seems like. He might know that something like this is coming. I feel like Tommy should have tried to get him on his side with this. But maybe that wouldn't be possible. I don't know, we'll see. But I bet Kimber's not gonna go down too easily here.
Get out of the way!
What the bloody hell is that?
Looks like your friends are here.
Oh, shit. Danny, you're dead. Nah.
Family meeting. Make sure you're there.
If I were family, but I'm not.
He wants you to be.
I could change.
Now you're gonna tell him.
You said it's the Kimber boys. They're heading this way.
Oh, I wonder if the inspector tipped off Kimber.
What's going on?
We're being fucking betrayed.
Does anyone think I'm blind a man as smart as you, Tommy? I'll deal with Grace. If you set eyes on her again, you might kill her.
Alright, so that makes sense. That's how the inspector knew that today was the day he would find out. Now I'm getting it.
Tommy knows as well. Turned out that copper as good as told him this morning.
He's gone. He's loaded.
Not afraid of you. Feel sorry for you.
Best and show you how a rich girl fights. I'm from a tough family too.
I don't know, I feel like Aunt Paul would probably kick her ass.
We women have more sense. Did you fall for Tommy?
Yup.
After all this is over, he might forgive you. I will never forgive you. Or accept you. Now go.
Maybe what really upsets you is the thought that one day you might lose him.
Getting in the last word, huh, Grace?
Things have changed. We fight them here, today. Outnumbered 3-1.
Ah, fuck.
But it's us, boys, it's us!
Is the kid gonna fight?
And the vehicles approaching the city should not be impeded.
What the hell is going on? You wanted my pub, and you took it?
I wouldn't be hanging out here if I was this guy.
Do it, or else. It's funny. Everybody around here, they want you to win this battle. You're bad men, but you're our bad men.
Game time.
To load them up.
So what do we do now?
When you came here from Belfast, I was overjoyed. When you made that speech about cleaning this place up, I gave a little cheer inside.
Let's use proper guns.
Yeah, here comes the big boy.
Sergeant Thorne, reporting for duty, sir. What are you doing?
I believe you boys call this no man's land. I
Mine.
said shut up! I've got brothers and a husband here, but you've all got somebody waiting for you. Now, I'm wearing black in preparation. Think about them right now. And fight if you want to.
She's right, you know. Why should all you men die? It should just be them who's caused it.
Enough! It's over. Go home to your families.
So is what's his name dead for real? Looks like it. Kind of anticlimactic. I don't know.
I told him that his heart would be broken before the day was over. So it seems you've broken 2 hearts, Grace.
As well as my own.
Should have shot for the head, Kimber. What were you thinking?
There, I still have the knack.
Now we can bury him properly. In the grave we dug for him.
Peaky Blinders won, sir. Communist agitator Freddie Thorne was taken from his transport by armed men. Since there were no officers on the street at the time, following your orders, he managed to escape easily and is now at large. Peaky Blinders as well, sir.
Just getting handed L after L, Inspector.
Some things never change. Hey, sir.
But just like because they killed Kimber, they can take over all his stuff now automatically. I mean, he still has all his men. And we didn't see that right-hand man accountant guy.
Sir, I have made a decision about my future.
think the aunt was right. He's gonna forgive her.
I'll be in London 1 week. This address. I have an idea. One she bought.
You just know everything, huh?
All of Kimber's men were busy here, so the Lee boys took all the pictures at the Worcester races.
Shelby Brothers Limited are now the third largest legal racetrack operation in the country. Only the Sabinis and the Solomons are bigger than us, boys.
Season 2.
To the others. All of them. I learned long ago to hate my enemies. But I've never loved one before. The idea of New York is interesting. But I have worked so hard for this day.
So that was her plan?
Polly tells me you fell in love for real. And Polly is never wrong about matters of the art. I will give you my decision within 3 days.
It'd be a cliffhanger. I guess it is. Alright, so that was Peaky Blinders Season 1 conclusion. It's a little anticlimactic with the kind of battle scene there, which wasn't really, but I guess the show, at least so far, doesn't have too much action usually, the gang fighting and everything. So it was interesting how Ada came between them there. I guess they had the plan already to break Freddy out, so it made sense that he came with the gun and everything, but yeah, still don't, I mean, Tommy did explain then that the Lee family got to the racetrack or whatever and took everything over. Not exactly sure how this works though with the legality of everything. Like it was a legal book or whatnot, but you can just kill the guy and take it over. I don't really know how that works necessarily, but I'm definitely intrigued to keep watching the season here. Like I said with that cliffhanger there, I don't think Grace is gonna be dead. I mean, we heard the gunshot, but maybe the inspector killed himself. I don't know. He seemed like he could be going that way. I mean, even to consider killing her, as upset that he was, is pretty drastic. But he was taking L after L, and even the second in command guy there at the police station was giving him the grief, saying he brought no change, which is kind of true. And then, yeah, bittersweet ending for Tommy as well, of course, since he got what he wanted, but the girl got away somewhat, or betrayed him, you know, obviously. He's flipping the coin, so I don't know what that's going to say. I mean, I'm sure he's not going to New York or anything. Season 2, I imagine, will continue in Birmingham here in England. And he mentioned a couple other families, so maybe that's like a new villain, or I don't know. I mean, I think they still might have to deal with the IRA guys, the Fenians. So overall, I definitely enjoyed this season. Like, it was great cinematography, great acting. The music choices, like, at first I was kind of like, it's a little strange with the anachronistic music, but I think it definitely works for the show. I would be interested as the show goes on here to see more characters or more different factions. Like other shows I like, even like I mentioned Boardwalk Empire from the same kind of time period, they got into a little more of the different warring factions type of thing. So I'd like to see, we didn't really get too much into Kimber, like his one right-hand man's still out there. I assume he'll come back in some way. But even if not, if there's a new villains or antagonists that I guess other than Inspector and the cops, you know, warring gang family or whatever, I'd like to see more inside them. Mostly the season was focused all around Tommy and then Grace and the Inspector as well, but pretty much everything revolved around Tommy. So I'd be interested to see if it kind of, the scope moves outward a little bit, but maybe that's just not that type of show, so I don't know. What else? So Aunt Polly's pretty badass. I mean, we didn't see her fight for that. I wonder if she's gonna, you know, she pulls that long kind of pin out, which is an interesting weapon. I wonder if we'll ever see her use that. And we heard about her young kids apparently got taken away from her back in the day, which is interesting. I think of, you know, 100 years ago, whatever, like people, it's harder to get your kids taken away by Child Protective Services or whatever, if they even had that. But I guess they did, you know, she was running a legal gin mill or whatever it was. So that's a sad backstory for her. But it really is her trying to always protect the family and kind of be in charge, even though Tommy really is. It's kind of the two of them. And that was a bookend to the season. Like, it opened almost with, maybe not the first scene, I don't think it was, but there was a scene early on in episode 1 with them talking, Tommy and Paul. And then at the end, it kind of concludes with that too. And also bookended the death of what Whizbang, what's his name? You know, the fake death at the end of episode 1, the real death here at the end of this finale. So not a lot of characters died other than him and Kimber, obviously, and maybe a few others, but definitely a pretty low death count on the show so far. So I'll also be interested to see what the stakes are going forward with that, or if they're setting up these fights so they can get out of it easily or whatnot. I don't want to see them get out of it too easily all the time. You know, even though you're rooting for the show, because here, like that bartender said, you're a bad guy, but we're still rooting for you because you're our bad guy. It's kind of like what the viewer is too, because Tommy really does set up everything. Like everything is kind of his fault. Even with Kimber, like he set out to take them over. Whoever died, it's on his conscience. And it's been like that all season with the Leahs, with everything. But but so it'll be interesting to see him have more obstacles here that are harder for him to escape from, as well as what's ever going to go on with him and Grace here, assuming she is still alive in season 2 here. So I'll be back next time for the start of season 2. Going to continue with Drewz Viewz, Peaky Blinders, season 2, episode 1 next time. And until then, I'm out of here. Peace. Pop that champagne.